I want to know who motherfucking representing it here tonight. Hold on.
I've got my key, of course, and let's go.
Murder on the beat.
So it's not the most beautiful day today. It's pretty gloomy, pretty chilly, but honestly that's nothing new out here, so I'm not surprised. Got this bump right in the middle of my eyes, and I thought it was a blackhead for a while, but it popped like a pimple, but now it kind of just looks like a blackhead. I've been really into wearing false eyelashes lately. I bought a couple pairs the other day, so I have them ready to go. I've decided that today on my radio show, I'm going to be talking about beautiful people problems, pretty black girl problems, and cheaters. It's a great combination. Great combination. It's not very planned out. I did write a couple of bullet points down, but I'm just gonna, feel it as I go, and it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be interesting. Hopefully people tune in. I'm gonna post my promo on my Instagram so that people know where to go, and I'm excited. Here comes the bus. I go on at 7, so oh God, oh Lord.
Trying to make sure you guys can see me too,
So now I need to cue up the music. I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath, people. What song should I play first? I'm thinking Wild Thoughts. It's a classic. I'm a little bit late already, so. Oh my God, where are my headphones? As much as I try and be on time, it just doesn't seem to work out.
White girl, when sit on ground, I probably shouldn't be around you. Cause you get wild. You looking like it's nothing that you won't do. But you won't do. Hey girl, that's when I told you. When I'm with you, all I get is wild thoughts. Wow. When I'm with you, all I get is wild thoughts. DJ Khaled.
This is Pillow Talk. I'm Tyler Simone, and you're listening to KSFS Radio. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm extremely excited about today's show because it's interesting. I was on YouTube the other day and I saw a couple videos pop up on this topic that I never really hear people talk about: pretty people problems. Now, I know that a lot of you will probably feel like, those don't exist. But they do, let me tell you. I'm not saying I'm the prettiest person in the world. I do think I am pretty attractive. There are issues that attractive people, quote unquote attractive, and I say quote unquote because everybody has their own interpretation of what attractive means and who is attractive and who's not. Let's just jump right into it. I'm going to just paraphrase it, but it was a quote that I saw on this article that I was reading about pretty people problems, and it was basically saying that the beauty that handicaps is the same beauty that provides social opportunity in some ways. Beauty can definitely help you move through life. When people think you're attractive, a lot of the time, things happen for you that don't happen for other people. Now, this is no one's fault. You can't really blame the attractive person for, the things that happen to them because they're attractive, because they were born that way. And I'll get to that a little bit later. And I feel like there's a bit of a double standard when it comes to looks for men and women. When there's someone who is maybe not seen as very attractive, people like to come to their defense. You can't talk about that person. They can't help the way that they look. They were born this way. That's just the way their face is. No one can help the way that they look. But then, why don't people do the same for attractive people? Have you ever thought about that? The first stereotype that I believe pretty or attractive people have in life is that they are stuck up or stupid. Stuck up and stupid are two different things. Stuck up meaning you think you're better than everybody, you're the best at everything, you look the best, you just are the best. Other people think that about you, but you necessarily don't really think that yourself, and that's an issue because once again, someone who's attractive did not ask to be attractive. While they were in the womb baking, they didn't say, "Hey mom, make sure you keep me in a little longer. I want to be cute when I grow up." They just so happen to turn out to be attractive. This does not mean that someone's stuck up. It doesn't. It also doesn't mean that they're stupid and that they don't know what they're talking about. That is another pretty person stereotype that people throw individuals under. Some people assume that if you're attractive, you can't also be smart, which is so far from the truth. A lot of people who have the looks also have the brains too. Okay, you can definitely have both. Sometimes they assume that you don't know what you're talking about, that you're airheaded, and most of the time they just don't take you seriously. When you start speaking, people tune out because it's like, okay, she's pretty, but she's talking now, so let's just move on. That's not fair. This one's called Black Girl Problems. We do have issues, okay, that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, believe it or not, despite the obvious. Okay, we live in America, so we definitely go through some things. But these are a little bit maybe unknown if you're not an African American woman or African woman or just black in general. You may not know of these, but I'm gonna let you know. I'm getting these off of the internet. Some of them I definitely agree with. Some of them I may not agree with. So let's just see. You are assumed to be bald until you're seen without a weave. That is true. We are looked at as if we have no hair if you have hair on your head that's not yours. You guys agree with that? Like if you see someone with a wig on or with a weave, you assume, oh, she just may have no hair. Maybe she's bald. But honestly, that's not the case. A lot of the time, black women have a lot of hair underneath that wig. And I'm going to enlighten you on something. A wig for black women is oftentimes a protective style. Now, a protective style is when you put your hair away in a variety of different ways to protect your hair from the elements. So this could be a weave, it could be a wig, it could be twists, it could be braids, it could be a bunch of different things. That is a protective style, and that's what a weave or a wig is for a lot of black women. So the next time you see a black woman with a wig on, don't assume she doesn't have any hair under there, because a lot of the times she does. The only guys that don't love your natural hair are black men. This one's basically saying that every other man of another race loves our natural hair, but our men. I know a lot of black men that love black women's natural hair, but I also know a lot of black men that don't love a black woman's natural hair. So it's a mixture of both. I don't necessarily lean towards agree on that one because it can go either way. It's just, an individual case depending on the person. But yes, I can say that I have definitely met or encountered black men who don't necessarily love natural hair. Ooh, this is a good one. Not knowing how to cook is a sin. So this is kind of like a stereotype. I guess if you are a black woman, you definitely know how to cook. That, my friend, is false. I will be the first to tell you because I can cook a few things, but I am not your chef. I can't. Okay, I'm a good breakfast cooker. Like I can cook breakfast. I can cook eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes, grits, oatmeal. I can cook chicken. That's a plus. I can cook macaroni and cheese. But have I ever cooked a full-blown like Thanksgiving meal by myself? No. Could I do it if I tried? Possibly, but it's not a guarantee. There's a weird reaction from people when they hear you speak and you talk proper. That one is a yes. This, I will tell you, is what they call talking white. I hope some of you guys can agree with me on this, that if you are of the African descent and you talk with sense and you talk with correct grammar, you shouldn't be talking like that. Like, that's seen as talking white or not talking black. And I've been told this ever since I was a little tiny chocolate drop, that I talk white. I can't change the way that I speak. This whole notion of talking black doesn't exist. It doesn't. And I've talked about this with friends in passing, and this is my personal opinion, that a lot of the time people of African descent, black people, however you want to phrase it, they tend to talk the way they think they're supposed to talk. It's an act. Yes, some of them do talk with slang. That's just the way they were raised. That's fine. It's great. It's beautiful. Whatever. But a lot of the time, I think that Black people will talk the way they think they're supposed to, and they don't really talk that way. And that's something I was never going to do, regardless of the fact that people have always told me that I talked white. I'm going to talk like this because that's how I was raised. I wasn't raised in a household where I was able to curse, and my parents didn't really use a lot of slang. I mean, they used it, but it wasn't heavily used, I guess. So it's all in the way you were raised, and we could go on about that topic for a very, very long time. Maybe I'll cover that next week, and, stereotypes, Black stereotypes in general. But that is all the time that I have tonight. I feel like we covered a lot, and I feel like I used my hour very wisely. This time I'm happy with the conversations that we've had. I'll be back here Monday, 7 o'clock on the dot, so make sure you tune in. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I post on there more often than I post anywhere else. Make sure you're here next Monday at 7 o'clock. I'll see you then.